Hello and welcome. You're watching Greenwich Live Sessions, and this is your host Umar Khan, and I'm back with another show, another guest, and I'm very excited for today's program, for today's live session, because the guest I have is very special for me as well, and I have deep respect because I'm about to introduce him as well. But before I start the introduction of the wonderful things he has been doing over the years, I would like to share that he also has been my teacher. I was lucky enough to be in a course where he was the instructor and it was a marketing course. So, without any further delay, we have with us Mr. Shoaib Shamsi. And let me tell a bit about Mr. Shoaib Shamsi. He's done his master's degree in marketing from WIU London and has a teaching experience of over 25 years. He's also a certified professional marketer from Asia Pacific Marketing Federation. He's a socially conscious entrepreneur and marketing professor with an extensive background in many industries. He's actively involved in and on board of many companies and non-profit social service organizations in construction, real estate, education, healthcare, and information technology sectors. He's also the director of Shamsi Builders, and he's also part of digital marketing group spearheading many ventures, including Parlo. And I can go on and on for the wonderful things, but I think we'll just leave something for the conversation. So, very warm welcome to Sir Shoaib Shamsi. Sir, how are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, Umar. And assalamu alaikum, everyone, Greenwich family. I'm really glad to be here. It's always a pleasure. And thank you for a warm introduction. I hope everyone is fine, everyone who is logged in and tuned in.
Absolutely, we all are fine, and thank you so much for taking out time. We all were very excited, the entire Greenwich family, and looking forward for this session. So, sir, how have you been spending all your time during this COVID-19? And life has changed, work has changed. So, how have you adapted, and how have you kept yourself busy during this time?
Okay, let me Umar start with saying with it's actually a Chinese prayer or a proverb or whatever you want to call it, and I used to quote it actually in my classes whenever I remembered it.
Yeah,
Um, that may you live in interesting times. Okay, this
right.
is a Chinese one, and I used to quote it in normal times, saying, "May you live in interesting time," because we were living in interesting time, right? We were seeing
Indeed.
internet explosion of internet communication revolution, and everything that came with it, and
Right.
uh, and now it seems like a curse because if this is interesting time, then I don't want to. I'm not interested. Uh, so anyway, coming to your question, because this has popped in my head, may you live in interesting times, and if you can call this interesting time, then we are in interesting time. So how I spent, I was actually just 2 3 days before, I think before the lockdown started, and I think a month and a half before Ramzan started. So I was, like I saw a notification on some Facebook or something, and Omar Khan, you said let's do something about it, and I was lying in my couch right here, and I said, yeah, Omar, that's right, and we knew exactly what was going to happen. I mean, after lockdown how much misery will be around us because we have done this before, like other disasters which were like localized and many. So anyway, so I invited Umar Khan the Great to my office, and we had a chat, and then we formed a group called Emergency Response Citizen Group, ECRG. And I put in some of my own money, and we got a little design done of the logo, and Umar created a Facebook page, and then we ordered some ration packs and boxes, and then we started distributing. And first 2 3 weeks were okay, like the like I was getting like 100 or 200 calls or messages on my phone, and we were finding out those people and through someone or directly, and they were coming to our office and we were distributing. And later on, as the lockdown started and it went deeper, obviously the people were desperate. So the calls on my numbers were like, like in a minute they were like 1,000 calls. I couldn't even cope up. So there were a lot of volunteers, and a lot of people gave us money from US, my friends and family from here. Everyone almost contributed, and you did a vital contribution. And I'm really thankful to Allah Almighty that we were involved in this and we were able to reduce suffering or thousands and thousands of families, and we did our part. And a lot of people were doing that actually. Every second person, Amna Khan joined us also. She was helping us. Many other people. My cousins, I should name them actually. Shoaib Shamsi, Adil Shamsi, and also my brother-in-law Zaheen, and my office guys Aftab, and of course Umar Khan. And if I'm forgetting someone, I apologize. But it was a great experience because we've done this before in times of flood, and also when Kashmir earthquake happened. But this is the biggest ever, like disaster that the world is facing. So yeah, so now office is open kind of a little bit, and it's still going on. That is, that drive I'm trying to get out of it. But I would like to take this opportunity, if you allow me, Umar,
Definitely, sir.
to yeah, to tell everyone that this experience has taught me many things, just like previous experiences. So what I'm trying to do, not trying to do, I'm doing actually now. I'm formalizing this, and I've created a platform. In the process of creating a platform called Feed a Family, and that platform will have mostly widows, because they are the most vulnerable ones, the widows who don't have a decent family income, and often have kids to look after, because we met them, like we helped them anyway, in thousands of them. So mainly those, and also it doesn't have to be widows, most deserving poor people. So we'll authenticate them, we'll register them on our website without displaying too much of their personal information. And then the website will have a whole background system algorithm of priority, and anyone can come from anywhere in the world and pay like 25 $30 whatever for a ration pack, like a big one which sustains them for a month or more. And once that happens, we will go and deliver to their home, and the person will get a receipt, and all of that. So that process has started, and hopefully in a couple of months time we should start operations. So I would request everyone to help us, and in that when it happens.
Inshallah,
Yeah, so
definitely, because it is the thought that counts. And let me take out a moment and tell the entire audience, Sir Shoaib is being too kind and humble. I did not do anything. I just came to meet him and helped out with the page. It was entirely his efforts during the lockdown, arranging the whole ration packs with his team, reaching out to people with the families, and the kind of effort he put in, using his own cars, his own all resources. It was complete hats off to you, sir. I did
hmm,
nothing. And indeed,
hmm.
I think
मेरी
everyone.
मेरी कार ने मुझसे ज्यादा सवाब कमाया है, that's true.
Sir, the main thing is,
But
it is the thought
yeah,
that counts. Ji.
Omar Khan is being really humble. I obviously, know him, and, his late father and his mother and his sister, and I love them and like my family. So he did a great job first coming in this world. So, and then, and then he's doing a great job for an institution that we all love, that is Greenwich University, and otherwise also in his professional career. So yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. And we definitely have audience with us. Entire Greenwich family is with us. Our Honorable Chancellor, Madam Seema Mughal, is watching us. She says, Shoaib, great appearance. Nice to
Yeah,
see
I
you.
can read that. Yeah, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, Seema. वो सोहेल अमीन ने आपको भाभी बना लिया था, वो सईद साहब से कोई काम होगा उसको। तो आप मेरी भाभी नहीं है, मेरी बहन है, फ्रेंड है, मैडम है, और भाभी नहीं।
Right, सही बात है सर।
इट्स
When
ग्रेट।
it comes back to memories, आपका ग्रेनेड से एसोसिएशन बड़ा डीप है. You go back to the very first batch, and then you were very active with the board as well. Then as a teacher, and still involved with alumni meetups and everything. तो एक बड़ा strong connection है आपका ग्रेनेड.
Yeah. Greenwich is like, home. Greenwich doesn't feel like work, never felt like work. And everyone, is like, my family members. So yeah, there are like tons of memories, but I'll share with you. One incident. It's very interesting. Uh, we were actually in the first batch, and this campus no one has seen, like other than us. This was on main Khyabane Shamsher actually. वो जो डेल्टन वेल्टन थी ना मार्केट उसके ऑपोजिट, and this was the first campus. Mujahid came later on. Anyway, we were on that campus, and we started like section A and B, and we finished our first semester. And after we finished the first semester, so there was a new batch coming, because and the new batch had come in, and there was like a occasion, like a whole function. And this I forgot his name, Dr. Hunt, I think was his name. He had come from London to attend there. He was the chief guest, and Kamal Bhai was there. So and I was just active, running around, having fun, and trying to impress girls, and all of that. So then somebody said that आपको जो है कमाल साहब बुला रहे हैं, और मैं डर गया, I thought कि कोई पकड़ी गई होगी चीज या कोई. I went to his office upstairs, and Dr. Hunt and they were sitting, and they said, Shoaib, in half an hour, this occasion, there is this occasion, and you will be the host for this occasion.
Okay,
I said, yeah, that's great. I'll be the host. He said, you write a little bit of, speech or, introduction, go down there, come and show it to us, and then you're on your own. And we are having an award ceremony also. You'll have to conduct all that.
right.
Okay. As I thought, going on the stage with like, 200 people sitting, my heart started pounding, like, stage fright of the
Wow.
deepest kind. Okay, but I went there and I wrote a little, and then whatever, welcome to Dr. Hunt. That was the easy part. I wrote that. I showed it to them. That's it. They said it's perfect. And then when the time came, I went on the stage, and my heart was like going doop doop. वो जैसे कार्टून में नहीं दिखाते हार्ट ऐसे जाता डंग डंग.
Especially
And
when Tom, especially जब Tom and Jerry के अंदर.
and
Exactly.
and and it was my like first experience of public speaking, so it's not, and I, in my heart, I was thinking that I am really messing up. Okay, so I read all that, aram se khade hoke, itni lights thi, and all that, and the stage experience, and वो डाइस भी था सब, and all that. एनीवे तो वो फिर अवार्ड की सेरेमनी हुई, तो वो अवार्ड मैंने उठा के देना था, तो मैं तो इतना कंफ्यूज था, बंदे का नाम अनाउंस कर दिया यार, स्टूडेंट का, एंड देन आई एंड दे वर सेइंग give me the award, give me the award. I said, okay, le. And then when I got off, when it all finished, I got
Right.
off, I was so miserable. I was so miserable. I said, my inside was saying me, I messed up. I really messed up. I shouldn't have agreed to go up there. And
Right.
then whoever I went to, Dr. Hunt said, "Oh, Shoaib, you did a great job." I said, "वैसे दिल रखा रहा होगा." And then other person, I said, "Oh, you did a great job. Oh, you did a great job." When 8, 10 people said, then I said, "Oh, okay, I must have done a reasonable job." Because what was, I didn't understand it at that time. What was happening inside me? They couldn't see it. I didn't fall down
Right.
or fainted or my legs were not shaking. But anyway, that was like the first, Greenwich experience, and rest is history. And yeah, so also, being a student there for a couple of years, and then we went to England together for the final semester, and then I stayed on. The other folks, they came back after I stayed on and did my second master's with WIU. So I stayed there for a year and a half, couple of years, and then I came back and I joined faculty, and that's 1991, and we are here sitting in you know
2020.
2020. Yeah, so that's what 29 years. Yeah, so
Absolutely.
that's a
And
lifetime.
yeah, I'll also share my personal experience because, as Sir Shoaib said, that we have got a long relation, way before I entered as a student into Greenwich. And as a teacher, I always looked up to him because you always, for me, a good teacher is the one who teaches you not only the course, but how to deal with practical life and how to deal with your practical ups and downs in life. So I always remember when I came to Sir Shoaib and we were discussing something. I discussed my career with him, and he gave me some wonderful advices. And he shared a very nice voice audio with me that was "Power of Now." And believe me, that was so deep and that was so thought provoking that it really opened up my mind towards many things. And that's why I have the deepest of respect. I always look up to Sir Shoaib for wonderful advice and things in life. So I think that is the best thing any student can get from his teacher is how to deal with the practical dealings in life.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's wonderful. I'm really happy that that helped you. And in life, the life is a journey, learning journey. I'm learning, you're learning, we are all learning. And so last 10, 15 years, one of the journeys within this journey of life has been the journey of exploration and, spirituality and, the quest for finding who I am, who am I, where did I come from, and so religion teaches us some things, and then life teaches us some things, and then there are gurus who open our eyes. So I was very lucky again through Greenwich, connections. Humaira Salim's mother runs a group called Soul Spa. So I got introduced to that, and they've also become like my family now in the past decade or so. And so I've met some wonderful people over there, and learned a lot and still learning. Yeah, so and then in my classes now, they start with the spirituality actually. They don't start with entrepreneurship or marketing and all that. My Mostly they start in the first lecture or the first half. They, for example, I'll share it with you today, and some of the students who've been there, if they get opportunity to watch this, they would remember. So I asked them that in the first classes, I said, let's suppose let's suppose you see a man sitting on a railway station, and the railway station is empty, totally empty, and
Right.
there is another man who comes and sits next to him, and there are no trains coming and going at that moment. And this man who comes asks this person, "Who are you?" And he says, "I don't know." And then asks him, "Where did you come from?" And this guy says, "I don't know." And then he asks him, "Okay, where are you going?" And he says, "I don't know." So what you would call that man? Okay, let me ask you, Omar, that question.
An average Pakistani.
That's very interesting. Okay, when I ask this question in the class, I get similar responses, and someone says, "कि sir वो पागल है," कोई कहता है कि someone says, "Sir, he's got dementia," or he's whatever, and then I tell them, no, that person is me. That person is me. Who doesn't know? And 99% of us are that person because we don't know really where we came from. And then वो क्लास में ना एक दो जरा मुल्ला टाइप भी होते हैं थोड़े strong religious भी होते हैं. No, sir, I know where I come from. I come from Allah. I say, I know, it's not about religion, but we live in a physical world, and uh, and we forget that we are not human beings with a spirit. We are actually spiritual beings having a human experience.
Right.
तो अल्लाह ने ह्यूमन एक्सपीरियंस करने के लिए भेजा आपकी स्पिरिट को, उसने भी. सो बट ये हम भूल जाते हैं, मोस्टली 99% हम भूल जाते हैं. एंड देन at some stage in life when we ask this question to ourselves, we always get the answer, because in spirituality teaching, what I have learned, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. That's the,
Absolutely. I,
that's
I
the
totally
truth.
I totally second this because in today's world, I'm not just talking about Pakistan, I'm talking about the whole global world. And what we're seeing in the television and the news every day, that people are getting frustrated, they're losing it. There's signs of depression around the world, even before COVID-19. And even the youth, even the old people, they're depressed. No matter what happens, whatever things they have in life, every blessing, they're full of blessings, still they're depressed. So when you will feed your body, you will always be unsatisfied. But if you feed your soul, that's where the spirituality steps in, and that's when you feel contented. That's when you feel gracious. So I totally agree to the point that people nowadays, they forgot about their base, from where they came from and how to feed the soul, and then they have this question that why are we not happy and satisfied with life.
Yeah, yeah, bilkul, 100% correct. I agree. Yeah. I see people around, in every disaster situation, you see the best of humanity and you see the worst of humanity,
True.
because the best and worst exist anyway. It's not that, worst comes or best comes. No, they exist anyway. They've always existed. They will always exist, because, it's a question of polarity. If the worst doesn't, exist, then best तो कोई meaning ही नहीं होगी best की. It will be meaningless. Okay. So I try to focus. I hear a lot of story कि ये राशन बेच रहा है, इसको जरूरत नहीं, इसको ये वो, all of that. Yeah, there's some people who do that. But 95% of the people are really deserving and hungry. Okay, so let's just focus on those and not worry about the worst humanity side, in any situation, not just COVID-19 or anything, generally in life. Just, be part of the best of humanity. And
Right.
yeah, there is frustration because, people are, frustrated. People are living the life of fear. And if you live the life of fear, then you can't be the best of humanity
True.
ever. You'll be worse, or close to it anyway, if you live the life. But if you live the life of love, then you will be best of humanity. Then you will be closest to Allah, because that's how he wants you to be. So yeah, I think it's very simple. It's, there is nothing, there is no like, magic about it or rocket science about it. So it's very simple, but only if we are able to live that kind of life. I try, as much as possible, in these circumstances, in, any circumstance. These circumstances, when I really actually, if I look deeply, they are really great circumstances. But my life was like much worse before COVID-19 than it is right now, because I was so busy. I was, there's so many problems now. There is no one around, so there is no problem. You just distribute ration, and then you
Right.
come home and play Scrabble with your friends and former student online. And my daughter is in US. I play Scrabble with her also, and so I beat her, and I shared on the Facebook, and then she beat me. I didn't share, and she was saying, "Why didn't you share when I beat you?"
Right.
So yeah.
So I actually look at it this way, that I look at the entire positive side of everything, even in the worst of times. And I look at this COVID-19 as a blessing in disguise. I look at it as a way for humans to rethink about the mistakes that they have been doing. I look at it like life is giving us a second chance. Like during this COVID-19, during this lockdown, what we have witnessed, I'll just talk about the positive aspects. The Mother Earth is healing. We've seen our ozone layer getting fixed at a record level. We've seen the nature and atmosphere extremely polluted are now clear. The rivers, the oceans are getting greener. The endangered species are coming back to life. We've seen wildlife getting better, and there's so much more. So what we've noticed is that it's the humans who are causing the problems. It's humans who are interfering with nature and causing issues. So life gives us a second chance over it, and then again we explored a lot of opportunities. For example, we've seen the world as a global thing has came closer. We're having online sessions. People who only wish to get into an international university are signing up for free and getting online courses from the bestest of teachers. So there is a positive side, but if I look at it this way, that everything is locked, I can't go out, I'm not getting sunshine, I'm not getting to go meet my friends, but the sun is always there. Your friends are always there. You're just a call away. So it's just the way you look at things, and it's just your approach and mentality that affects your moods and your entire life.
Yeah, you describe this, individual phenomena so beautifully that, I can't really add anything to it. But I'll just, take this further. On the corporate level, all companies, they are, and even institutions, Greenwich has done a wonderful job by just staying and, by rethinking their method of delivery, and, just like any premium institution in the world, they've done a wonderful job. So students don't suffer, teachers don't suffer, and the life continues. And obviously this is temporary, but we don't have to waste time. And then within, on the corporate level, within a disaster, or within a problem, whatever we want to call it, there are opportunities for, maybe not for everyone, but for most and lot of people, who can actually see it. I'll give you an example. Uh, we realize in our digital office, which is like a huge office, right now, with quite a lot of people, they're all working from home, and there were initially some problems, and then we sorted them out. And my partner Irfan Barni from US, he monitored that. And then now he realizes, he says, we don't need an office for Parlo. We can, we've been working as efficiently, or even more efficiently than we used to. ऑफिस में तो वो सारे लड़के लड़कियां कभी सिगरेट पीने जा रहे हैं, कभी चाय पीने जा रहे हैं, घर पे टारगेट्स है सबका, वो अच्छा काम. So they're now rethinking, we are now rethinking our business model, and our expense, and all of that. A lot of companies like us, they realized, as all the call centers and stuff, they said, why do we need an office? We just give a good internet connection to these people, and they work from home, and they're happy. They don't have to travel all the distances from North Karachi to Share Faisal, and all that smoke and buzz in motorcycle, and take the risk, or and they're sitting at home and doing their work. Okay. And so there was a huge opportunity for company like Storm Fiber. They said, your connection, the mark. And they had an infrastructure already laid of fiber optic, and they have given so many connections during this time. Great opportunity for them, and they have helped businesses and individuals. And now there are thousands and hundreds of thousands of people sitting at home and having a job, making
Right.
money,
I'll add
making
on to this.
software. Or
I'll add on to this, and this is the mentality that Facebook and Google had for a long time. They always focused on giving employees this creative space, their flexible timings, so that they can work with creativity, and they can give their full to the work, and maximize the potential that they have. Similarly, what we've seen that
yeah.
during this time when people are working from home, they know their targets. Now they have planned according to their own selves, rather than working around the clock and working like a machine. So people have started to produce more efficiently, and this is what Google and
Yeah.
Facebook have been doing for years. In the Google's office, there is a swimming pool, right? So people can work while swimming.
Yeah.
Things are like that. They've all
Yeah.
colorful. There's no proper table chairs.
Yeah.
People can sit on couches. They can lie down and work, and this
Yeah.
is how the thing goes. So I take this opportunity around the globe that people are exploring new ways to meet targets. Not that typical ways of working that you have to work 9 to 5. You can still be creative, you can be flexible, and still be efficient with your work and provide even greater results.
Yeah, all that is happening, around the world. Obviously, there is a lot of misery also. A lot of businesses are folding, and around the world and US, everywhere in the world. Those are the realities that we live in, and there is Allah's plan is much bigger. So we just have to survive these times, and the survival of this time is, I think, when we started this, I think I wrote a post on my Facebook, like, my status was that the post COVID-19 world will remember how we treated each other as individuals, as organizations, and as countries, okay, and as communities. So post COVID-19 world won't be much different than what we are seeing today, or before COVID-19. But people will remember, or at least the nature will remember how we treated each other, how what we. So the survival is not just my survival, but people around me. So am I helping everyone? We all need to ask this, and not
Absolutely.
be too much fearful कि मैं छुप के बैठ जाऊं, मेरे घर में सब कुछ मौजूद है, बस मैं 6 महीने बाद निकलूंगा जब वैक्सीन आ जाएगी. So I don't think that's the right approach. One has to be careful, but
Absolutely.
still move around, help people. And you and I met thousands and thousands of people during this time, and we are alive. We are okay. And so yeah, these are, as I said, interesting times.
Right. So I'll add on some comments now, and this is very interesting. Ma'am Tyra Khan is with us, and she says definitely there will be a change in our entire lifestyles. Mr. Shoaib Shamsi, we will need to take a break in Donga Gully.
Anytime, you're most welcome. That
And
place is available,
and
and
Madam adds to it, Tyra Khan, we would love to join. So I think we should have a big Greenwich family reunion at
uh,
Donga Gully.
uh, uh, yeah. A lot of my students group have benefited from that place, and hopefully I've been fighting, and that is also a lesson for me. That project actually, that you don't give up, and I haven't given up in the last 10 years, and my brother also, and we are now very close to getting the problem solved, or of our building plan, and we'll be starting construction of, inshallah, one of the most beautiful resort hotels in Pakistan, if not in the entire region. So, but until that happens, that little house is available. Madam Tyra, you are most welcome, and we can form a group. And I go there very often. But yeah, my students have benefited from it.
I've also
उनको मैंने
been there.
hiking.
I'll share the experience. When I went there, it was minus 12 degrees, right? And the situation was so tough. And there were no, I was lucky enough and I was smart enough to carry my own gas heaters with me. So that's the only way I survived the night, because it was minus
Yeah,
12 and that
yeah.
place was completely open. So it was like freezing. And I
Yeah,
could not keep the gas heater on
yeah,
and sleep. So that was also in my mind. So it was one of the most memorable nights that
yeah,
I spent there, and I survived. So that's
yeah,
one memory from that house for me.
yeah.
This is
Yeah, actually, our house where it's located is 9,700 feet above the sea level. So
right.
even in summer, even in this time, we don't need a fan there. We don't even have a fan in the house, because you don't need it. At this time, it gets chilly every night, even in summer. So, but that's one part. But all the nature, all the reserve forest, and all the wildlife, all the bird sounds, and that brings you closer to Allah. When that's the way how I look at it now. When I go there, I sit
Indeed.
somewhere quiet and close my eyes and do my zikr, or meditation, and that is such a, it can't be described in words, that experience, because when you're close to nature, that is you are close to Allah, your creator. There is no second thing
We
about
would
it.
we would
Yeah. So
link this.
anyone listening, most welcome.
We would link this to the earlier conversation we
Sorry.
were having. This I would link this to the earlier conversation we were having regarding spirituality. Now, what is a spirit basically? It is a creation of nature, right? So, whenever a person will be close to nature, he will always feel good. Whenever a person is close to anything natural, he'll always feel good. So if we involve ourselves with the whole artificial world that man has created, it will glitter, it will have the blossoms for some time, but eventually you'll feel irritated. Eventually you'll feel like everything around me is not real. So I always believe in the fact that one should always stay close to nature and your originality, as you just mentioned. That what is a human being? Where did he come from? What is his goal? So rather than attaching ourselves to man-created things, let's just explore life and try to explore the real side why we were created and the whole spiritual journey that brings us close to Allah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Umar, one thing I've learned from little experience, that in public forums and in people, I really don't talk about spirituality that much, because people carry their own notions and their own religious thing, and they are actually looking for conflict. Although there doesn't have to be, there is no conflict actually, but they're looking for conflict. नहीं जी, यूं तो नहीं था, हमारे हुजूर ने कब कहा था कि आप बैठ के मेडिटेशन करें और इस तरह की बात
Right.
करते, तो I've learned that, and this is also a public forum. So what I would like to say, आपने बहुत अच्छा माशाल्लाह बोला है, but what I would like to say, you don't have to go far to explore yourself. It's just an internal journey. कभी वो बाबा बुल्ले शाह ने भी कहा था कि अंदर तो जाए ना आप अपने, कभी नहीं जाते ना हम लोग अंदर अपने, बाहर ही बाहर सब कुछ है, चल रहा है, बाहर ही परेशानियां, all everything is happening around us, but what's inside us, once we start going and exploring, the whole universe is inside us, everything, every answer, every question, every answer, everything that exists or ever existed is here, is inside us. That's the way Allah Almighty created human beings, and with unlimited potential
Hmm.
within us. But we just need to explore it. We just need to go there. It's not rocket science. It can happen, and it doesn't have any conflict with any religion, including our lovely religion or our Prophet. And I try to close at that.
Absolutely. And during these times, because these are very testing times and things are just getting more and more serious in Pakistan, I just pray that things get better, especially for the ones who are really affected with all of this, especially the ones who are daily wages earners. They have been affected. Even people who from well settled backgrounds owning factories and big mills, they have been affected even more because their fixed expenses are there, but the income is zero. So everyone is affected. It's not just about rich and poor. From A to Z, even the whole Pakistan economy has been affected. So during this time, what we're trying to do is we're trying to spread positivity. It's what we're trying to people. We're trying to get people engaged and try to understand. Use this time to explore yourself. Use this time to ask yourself questions. Use this time to meet your own self, because once you meet your own self, you'll have the answers to everything. You'll know what makes you sad. You know what makes you angry. You'll know what makes you happy. You'll know how to control your own self. And once you're out of this COVID time, rather than being frustrated or getting tensed about the future, meet your own self. Once you'll out of it, you'll be a better version of your own self, and you'll look at the world differently, like we see in the movie Matrix. Everything is much more clearer. So if you use this time to explore your inner self, you'll find inner peace, you'll find inner harmony, and you'll be much more effective and efficient with life and your daily work, your daily relationships. I think this is the best time to recreate humanity and make a better world.
I can see Umar has taken that blue pill, Matrix one.
Absolutely, you can see the glow on my face. I'm so relaxed, and where people are so
Mashallah, mashallah,
so much tense. I believe
mashallah,
this is what we are trying to do during these sessions. Is guys, we need to
mashallah.
be happy. All we need, like I'll just share a personal experience here that life is full of worries. I have got so many problems. I've got so many reasons to be stressful. But at the same time, I've got so many things and so many blessings that I should be thankful for. So rather than looking at thousand things that you don't have, look at that one thing that you have, right? So you'll always be gracious, you'll always be smiling, and there's this whole world, there's this aura, there's this energy, there's this law of attraction that you need to explore. And believe me, during this
Yeah,
session, whatever we try to do, our main goal is to change a life. Our main goal is to give you one reason to smile. And even if we can make one single person smile or create an impact in their life, I think the reasons of these sessions will be completed by then.
yeah, that's absolutely wonderful. Moab, you know, I don't have the words. You said it very well. Okay, let me just add. आपने Power of Now का जिक्र किया था. Eckhart Tolle, the author. Now, one person asked him that you are teaching us to live in this moment now. And and it's not just him. Every spiritual guru, Sufi, Buzurg, Prophet has taught the same thing: live
Indeed.
in this present moment, because your life only happens in this moment. It doesn't happen in the past, it doesn't happen in the future. So fear of the future, regret of the past is absolutely useless. It
Absolutely.
spoils this moment, and this moment is where. So a question was asked to him, and it's a very valid question, that what if this moment is really bad? Some
Absolutely.
moments are really bad. Okay, so then I don't want to live in a bad moment. Okay, I would rather dream of some future. And so his answer was like really profound. Okay, his answer was, "Who are we to judge what moment is good or bad? Who are we
Uh,
to judge what moment is?" For
I
some
agree.
people, absolute wonderful things happened in their life, but they started with a bad moment or a bad thing, or you could call it a bad thing. And there are examples. Steve Jobs example, he was like kind of without parents, and he was adopted by these he was like he was a son of a single mother who gave him up for adoption, and she had only one condition, that he will attend high school, because she couldn't go to high school or college. So she agreed to give it to a couple, and that couple then later on helped him in his education, whatever little education that he had. And so if you look at that moment, where is this child born without even knowing who his father is, and without his mother, and to a couple who don't have a child, he's been given, it's a very, very bad moment. All right. uh, but his life started with that bad moment, and then he said that I'm going to put a you know like what dent in the universe, and he did. He changed the universe like not many people have been able to. So the
Absolutely.
universe became wonderful. So how could we judge any moment? Why should we? Who are we to judge a moment which has been given to us by Allah? That a lot of, so a lot of people will learn this in the future also, that even this moment, COVID-19, that we have no, absolutely, we should not curse it, we should embrace it. This has happened, this there is a plan what we can do best about it. And not just this moment, but every moment, when you have a problem, when you everyone has problems in life. So if you don't, I pity the people who don't have problems in life. I meet a lot of them in Greenwich, in my classes, who've never
Right.
had a problem in their life. And
Mm.
when the problem happens, because it will happen sometime, when
Absolutely.
you go in the practical world,
Mm.
and then they're unable to cope. they're unable to cope with it,
Very
because they have not gone through the grind, through the grit. And so every problem comes, it's a मैं आपको एक इंसिडेंट शेयर करता हूँ. माय लेट फादर, अल्लाह ताला उनको जन्नत नसीब करे. In his last few days, I think he was admitted in Aga Khan Hospital, and I went to his room, and so मैं कहीं से आ रहा था, I was coming from somewhere, and I was really tense. There were some business problems, and he saw on my face, he said, "What happened? What happened? क्या हुआ?" And I said, "नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं." He was in the hospital, so I didn't want to share. He said, "No, no, बात करो, बात करो. What happened?" And I said, we haven't really done anything bad to anyone, or, I mean, thought about doing bad. Why all this is happening to us? Whatever bad was happening. And he started smiling. And he said, "Beta, आप university में पढ़ाते हो ना?" मैंने कहा, "Yes, जी." He said, "Tell me name of a university which will prepare you for this that you're facing,
wow.
for the problems that you tell me the name of any university in the world which prepares you for this."
Absolutely.
And I had a goosebump experience at that moment, and it's still reliving that experience. And I said, "I don't know, there is no university that teaches." He said, "There is one." I said, "Which one?" He said, "The University of Life. That is the university that teaches, it's your teaching." And
Absolutely.
I can never forget his lesson, because after that, after whatever I faced, and whatever I did, right or wrong, after that I became a much stronger person, so I could solve much bigger problems that
Totally
came
relatable.
after that. So problems, my friends, are opportunities. They are sent to you. They just don't happen. They are sent to you for a purpose. And
Purpose.
if you realize they are sent by Allah, then
Absolutely.
as a gift, then you can't do anything about it. You have to embrace them, and you have to just go along and do your best at that moment, learn from it, grow stronger, and then uh, go along in life. Yeah, that's what I wanted to add.
It's such a beautiful add-on and such a beautiful concept you added, that never judge the situation, is it good or bad. What I personally believe, and I'll completely second this, what you just said, that you have good times, you have bad times. It's not the time that is good or bad. It is the moment that is in your favor or not in your favor. If it's not in your favor, one should just look and analyze the situation. Either you're wrong somewhere and you have to rectify your mistakes, or you're being redirected towards something much bigger that you cannot see because of that situation. So things fall apart when bigger things are in store. So if I keep looking at, for example, a mini car, and I say I want this mini car, and I keep looking at it, and suddenly, that car crashes, and suddenly I see that behind that mini car is a much bigger car, for example. So never limit yourself toward goals or smaller things. Just free fall with life, and just hug anything that come towards you with a free fall, with a positive approach. वो कहते हैं कि एक उर्दू में बड़ी मिसाल है that I follow, and as much as I'm loving this conversation, we of course have to wrap it up as well. कि सर ये सुनिएगा कि हाथ उठाओ तारे पकड़ने के लिए, तारे हाथ आए या ना आए, जमीन की मट्टी तुम्हारी हथेली छू भी नहीं पाएगी. So
Wow, Subhan.
always aim big in life. You never know what's waiting for you. But if you always target small things and you look at smaller things in life, you will always achieve low. So life and human beings, I personally, this is my personal experience, have no limits. But if you're putting limits to yourself, you're stopping your own success. Ma'am Taira Khan is with us. I remember one thing from her class. She shared this quote: success comes in cans, not in cannots. And she shared a picture of a can written in cans. So I always remember that from ma'am's class as well. And the whole entire Greenwich experience, Sir Shoaib Shamsi, Ma'am Taira Khan, Sir Ali Said, these are all the teachers, and all of them else. I'm just naming a few. Everyone. gave such practical experiences that today it's an honor that I'm interviewing my own teacher and hosting him. So this is the platform, this is the exposure that Greenwich University has provided, and this is these sessions are just meant to open your mind toward lots of things. And I really hope that out of this conversation, the whole spiritual journey that we went on and the beautiful advices that you shared, I'm sure that many of the students and audience must have grasped something, and I really hope they implement it on their lives so that they can feel the change.
हाँ, बस फतवा ना लगाए मेरे ऊपर कोई, बाकी खैर है.
But then again, seriously, मेरी इस
No,
बात
I
सर बताऊंगा,
yeah,
फतवे की बात पे भी मैं
yeah,
यही कहूंगा.
I'm really impressed, Omar. Yeah. Yeah, I no, no, I don't take that, further. That comment is just a joke. What I'm trying to say is I'm really impressed, Guru Omar Khan or Baba Omar Khan, the way you express yourself is absolutely amazing. Your fluency and all of that is absolutely wonderful, and your thought processes are like really, really clean, and and on the right track, and
Thank
it's wonderful, it's beautiful. I'm really happy to have this conversation with you, and everyone who has had the opportunity to listen. And I haven't been teaching for a while, like for a few semesters, and I really want to get back to my course, entrepreneurship, basically. And
you.
because I've taught almost all courses. I know you have to finish. I'll just take an 1 minute.
Sure, sure,
um,
sure.
mm, almost all courses, during these past almost 3 decades now. In the marketing and management department, but last few years I was teaching entrepreneurship, and I really love to teach entrepreneurship because I am a business person anyway. And but the thing is, entrepreneurship, or because of my interest in spirituality, they have an absolutely wonderful match. Okay, if you are not a spiritual person, you cannot be a good business person or a good entrepreneur, and vice versa. Because entrepreneurship क्या है, तिजारत. हमारे नबी हुजूर भी तिजारत करते थे ना, उनकी हमारी जो उनकी वाइफ है वो भी तिजारत करी, एंड ही टॉट द वर्ल्ड हाउ टू डू तिजारत, how
Absolutely.
to do conduct business. For the first time, I think he taught the world कि आपको fair business practice क्या है. Okay, so the spirituality and entrepreneurship, they, I find it, has a very, or I have created that, that deep relationship, and my lectures are, they reflect those, and I miss that. And hopefully, soon I'll be restarting my teaching experience, and then have an opportunity of physically meeting everyone again, and be with my family again.
And we all miss you at Greenwich as well. And it was so kind of you for giving us time and sharing the wonderful thoughts, the wonderful advice about the biggest exam, the biggest test in that is called life. And once you pass that test, I think everything in else becomes much smaller. So thank you once again, sir. I hope you stay
Absolutely.
safe, and I wish
You're
you all the
welcome.
best.
You're welcome. Yeah,
I wish
yeah.
you all the best
Let me
with the
take this. Yeah, and
social work
same.
that you're doing with
Thank you.
ERCG. And
Thank you.
before I end, I would really like to call out to people that please support the cause of Sir Shoaib Shamsi that he has started, and help out people, not even ERCG. If you can do it on your own, do whatever you can. Even if these are testing times, just make sure that if you're eating, just take a plate and send it to your neighbor. You never know who has eaten and who has not. So just take care of everyone. If every single person can look after one single person and have that sense to take care of each other just by sharing a nice word, just by sharing a smile, life can change. And a single push that someone is looking for, that push can be you. So always take care of things. And thank you so much once again, sir.
Beautiful, beautiful closing words. And I would like to say Allah Hafiz. Thank you very much to everyone at Greenwich, Madam Seema, Said Saab, Munir Khan, and Umar Khan, and all the rest of the people. I can't name with everyone. And thank you very much, Umar, for inviting me. It was a lovely, lovely experience, and great experience
It
to
was
sit
it
here
was
and talk to you.
it was likewise. And before I leave, the last thing, Madam Seema is asking a question. What is holding you, Shoaib? Come over.
What? No, ask. That is the wrong question. Ask who is holding you. And that is the person. That is the person who makes that timetable for the next semester. I don't want to name anyone, but no, nothing is holding me. You're very kind, and I would like to, before I go, I would like to share this
Sure,
about Madam Seema, and
sure.
she is absolutely lovely person. And in
And
my last 25 years, I will say that she has never refused any request that I've made regarding anyone's fee waiver, or koi deserving ho koi kuch ho. Even if I'm not in Greenwich, I've sent a request, it has been accepted exactly as I have sent, and I'm always really thankful to her, and all the Greenwich, and especially her, that she's always been very kind and very loving and very supporting in all the ways possible. And I'm nothing is holding me, Seema. I am here, I'm available, and
uh,
inshallah, online or offline, I am there always.
so definitely, and absolutely, I'd second that Madam Seema Mughal has taken us all under her umbrella, and it's just an honor to work with such people who actually we just don't say Greenwich family, we actually mean it, and we truly are a family. So once again, thank you, sir. We'll definitely have another session, and once this COVID gets over,
Thank you, Mark.
we should have some spiritual sessions as well for people. Right. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Allah Hafiz, Allah Hafiz.
So you heard Mr. Shoaib Shamsi and the brilliant life experience that he shared. And today's session was a bit different. It was all about life. It was about sharing the journey of life. It was about sharing your experience, how you look at the world, and how you should cope up with the issues and the daily challenges you face. And to summarize it all, I would just say that stay positive, keep a smile on your face. And then people say, how can we keep a smile on our face and be happy when there are problems all around us? The thing is, there are problems, but you still have a chance. You still have a chance to fight those problems and get out of it. So the choice is yours, that you want to worry about the problem or you want to think about a solution and get over that problem towards a brighter sunshine and a brighter day. So hope is always there, the chance is always there. It all depends on how you approach your life. It all depends and on how you take the challenges as. So always be positive, always keep smiling, hope for the best, and never give up. That's what I'd like to say. So this was the session from today. We'll be back tomorrow with another session, another guest. You can always give your feedback in the comments, and if any topic you want us to talk on, you can definitely let us know, and we'll definitely do a session regarding that topic. So until next time, stay home, stay safe, keep smiling, stay positive, and Pakistan Zindabad.